every morning you open your eyes, it is more than just the start of another day. It is a reminder that mercy has found you again, the breath in your lungs, the beat of your heart, and the light breaking through the darkness of the night are all signs that God has allowed you to see another day for a reason. Nothing about this moment is random. You woke up today because there is still purpose connected to your life and still blessings connected to your future. Many people wake up and immediately begin thinking about their problems. They remember the bills that still need to be paid, the responsibilities waiting for them, and the worries that did not disappear overnight. The mind begins to fill with pressure before the day has even started, but every morning carries something greater than the problems we face. It carries the mercy of God, and mercy means that God has given us another chance, another opportunity, and another moment to trust Him. When the sun rises each morning, it is like a quiet reminder that darkness never has the final word. No matter how long the night feels, morning always comes. The same way the night cannot stop the sunrise, the challenges in your life cannot stop the plan God has for you. Sometimes life feels uncertain and the future may look unclear, but every new day proves that God is still working behind the scenes. Think about the power of a fresh start. Yesterday may have been full of mistakes, disappointments, or moments where things did not go the way you expected. Maybe you tried something and it failed. Maybe you prayed and the answer did not come when you hoped it would. But the beauty of a new morning is that it does not carry the weight of yesterday's failures. Instead, it carries the promise that God's grace is still available for today. Mercy means that God does not treat us according to our past mistakes. Instead, He gives us another opportunity to walk forward with faith. That means today can be different. Today can bring new opportunities, new ideas, and new doors that you could not see before. Sometimes the breakthrough we are waiting for begins with a simple change in how we start the morning. Rather than waking up with fear, we can wake up with gratitude. Rather than beginning the day with worry, we can begin it with prayer. Gratitude reminds the heart that even in difficult seasons, there are still blessings all around us. The fact that you woke up today means your story is not finished. There are still chapters left to be written. Every morning is a gift that carries potential. It carries the possibility that God will open a door you did not expect. It carries the chance that today could be the day when something shifts in your life, the opportunity to breathe, to move, to think, and to hope again is a blessing that should never be taken lightly. So when you wake up in the morning, remember that it is more than just the start of another routine day. It is a reminder that mercy has already gone ahead of you. It is proof that God still sees you, still cares about your life, and still has a plan unfolding that is greater than anything you can currently see. There are moments in life when financial pressure feels overwhelming. You look at the responsibilities in front of you and wonder how everything will come together. Bills continue to arrive, needs continue to grow, and sometimes the resources you currently have do not seem enough. In those moments, it is easy for fear to enter the heart and convince you that the situation will never change. But there is a powerful truth that must be remembered. God is the ultimate provider, and his ability to provide is never limited by human circumstances. The world often teaches us to depend only on what we can see. We are told to trust the numbers in our bank accounts, the stability of our jobs, or the security of our plans. While these things are important, they are not the final source of provision. True provision comes from God, the one who created everything and holds the universe together. When you understand that God is the provider, you begin to realize that your situation is not controlled by the limits of the world, but by the power of the one who is above it. Look at the world around you for a moment. The birds do not plant crops or store food in barns, yet they continue to find what they need every day. The flowers in the fields grow with beauty even though they do not work for it. Nature itself shows us that there is a creator who provides for his creation. If God takes care of the birds in the sky and the flowers in the field, how much more will he take care of the people he loves? Sometimes provision comes in ways we expect, but many times it arrives in ways we never imagined. It may come through a new opportunity that appears at the right moment. It may come through someone who offers help just when it is needed. It may come through an idea that opens the door to something greater. God's provision is not always limited to money appearing instantly. Sometimes the provision is wisdom, sometimes it is a connection, and sometimes it is a door opening that changes everything. There are countless stories of people who faced financial uncertainty, but later discovered that their greatest breakthroughs came during those very seasons of struggle. Difficult times often prepare us to recognize the value of the blessings that follow. They teach us patience, trust, and faith. When everything seems uncertain, that is often when God begins to move in ways that are beyond human understanding. One of the most important things to remember is that God's timing does not always match our expectations. There are moments when it may feel like the answer is delayed, but a delay does not mean denial. Sometimes God is arranging circumstances, aligning opportunities, and preparing the right moment for the blessing to arrive. When the provision finally comes, it often appears in a way that is greater than what we originally imagined. Trusting God as the provider does not mean ignoring responsibility or effort. It means doing your part while believing that God will do what only he can do. It means waking up each day with faith instead of fear, believing that the same God who has helped you in the past is still able to help you again. There are seasons in life when everything feels uncertain. Plans that once seemed clear suddenly become confusing, and the path ahead looks unfamiliar. In those moments, it is easy to feel anxious or discouraged, especially when financial pressure or personal struggles begin to build. Yet these uncertain seasons often carry a hidden purpose. They become the very moments when faith begins to grow stronger than it ever was before. When life is predictable and comfortable, it is natural for people to rely on their own abilities and plans. When things are working smoothly, we feel confident in our routines and strategies. But when uncertainty arrives, it shakes the sense of control we thought we had. The things we depended on may not feel as stable as they once did. Jobs may change Opportunities may shift and circumstances may become difficult to understand. While this can feel frightening, it can also become the beginning of a deeper relationship with God. Faith becomes most powerful when it is tested. Anyone can believe when the path is clear and the answers are visible, but true faith is developed when the future cannot be fully seen. It is the decision to keep trusting even when the outcome is not yet known. It is the choice to keep moving forward even when the direction feels uncertain. In those moments, faith becomes more than just words. It becomes a daily act of trust. Many people discover that their strongest spiritual growth happens during the hardest seasons of life. When everything else feels unstable, they begin to lean more deeply on prayer, patience, and hope. The uncertainty pushes them to seek God more seriously and listen more carefully. What once felt like a crisis slowly becomes a classroom where faith is being strengthened. Uncertain seasons also remind us that we are not meant to carry every burden alone. Sometimes we try to solve every problem by ourselves, believing that if we work hard enough, we can control every outcome. But life has a way of showing us that some things are beyond human control. Those moments invite us to release the pressure of trying to manage everything and instead trust that God is guiding the process, even when we cannot see the full picture. Faith in uncertain times does not mean ignoring reality or pretending challenges do not exist. It means acknowledging the difficulty while still believing that God is greater than the situation. It means understanding that a temporary struggle does not define the final outcome. The road may feel long and confusing now, but faith holds onto the belief that God is still leading towards something better. Often the lessons learned during uncertain seasons become the foundation for future strength. When a person looks back after the struggle has passed, they realize that the season they once feared actually helped them grow. Their patience became stronger, their trust became deeper, and their understanding of God's faithfulness became clearer. In the middle of uncertainty, faith becomes the light that keeps guiding the way forward. Even when the path is not fully visible, the belief that God is present brings peace to the heart and strength to continue moving ahead. When people hear the words financial breakthrough, the first thing that usually comes to mind is money. Many imagine that provision will only appear in the form of cash, a higher salary, or unexpected financial gain. While money can certainly be a part of God's provision, His way of providing often goes far beyond what we initially expect. True provision is much larger than numbers in a bank account, and sometimes the greatest breakthroughs arrive through opportunities, ideas, and relationships that completely change the direction of a person's life. There are moments when someone prays for financial help, and instead of immediate money appearing, a new door begins to open. It could be a job opportunity, a business idea, or a connection with someone who helps guide them toward a better path. At first, it may not look like the answer they were expecting, but over time it becomes clear that the opportunity was actually the beginning of something greater. What once seemed like a small change can grow into a blessing that provides far more than temporary relief. Ideas can also be a powerful form of provision. A single creative thought can lead to innovation, new work, or solutions that solve real problems. Throughout history, many successful ventures began with nothing more than an idea placed in someone's mind. That idea eventually turned into something valuable that supported not only the individual, but also many others. In this way, provision can begin quietly through inspiration and vision that lead to future success. Relationships are another way provision often appears. Sometimes the right person enters your life at the exact moment you need guidance or encouragement. They may share wisdom, introduce you to opportunities, or support you in ways that help you move forward. These connections are not accidents. They are part of how God works through people to create paths that we could not create alone. A conversation, a recommendation, or a partnership can become the key that unlocks new possibilities. Provision can also appear in the form of wisdom and understanding. Knowing how to manage resources wisely, how to make better decisions, and how to recognize valuable opportunities can transform a person's financial future. Wisdom helps people avoid mistakes that could cause loss, and it helps them recognize the moments when they should step forward with courage. This kind of guidance can protect and multiply what someone already has. Sometimes God's provision also shows up as strength during difficult seasons. There are times when people continue moving forward even though the situation around them feels challenging. The ability to remain hopeful, focused, and determined can be the very thing that leads them toward future breakthroughs. Strength during hard moments allows a person to keep working, keep believing, and keep preparing for the doors that will eventually open. Understanding that provision comes in many forms changes the way people view their circumstances. Instead of waiting only for money to appear, they begin to notice the opportunities, ideas, and connections that are already around them. These smaller beginnings often grow into larger blessings over time. When someone stays open to these possibilities and continues moving forward with faith and effort, they may discover that the provision they were praying for was already beginning to unfold in ways they did not expect.